Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is a very small video about the first chapter of economics in class 9th, and it's the story of the village Palampur. So Palampur is just a let's start it from now without wasting any time. Okay, Palampur is a small village having about 450 families, and it is 3 kilometers away from Raiganj. It's not a town, but it's just a big village. Shahpur is the nearest town. So here this is Palampur, and this is 3 kilometers away. And this is Raiganj, and this is Palampur. This is Raiganj, and this is Shahpur. I guess you can understand what I said now. Okay, my handwriting is not that good. I hope you guys understand it. Next, the main production activities. Farming is the main production activity in the village. So what many bits have been asked. If you want, you can just ask me, and I'll post a video about the bits of this chapter. I have the bits with me already. Okay, so this is a very important thing, and I have got this in bit. Farming is the most important production activity. So they ask, like, what is the most important production activity in the Palampur village? So you have to tell farming, not dairy, transport, or anything else. It's farming. Most of the people are dependent on farming for their livelihood. Most of the people are dependent on farming only for their livelihood in the village Palampur. Not only in Palampur, in most of the parts of the India. To be accurate, about see here, 63% to 65% of households in India's livelihood is earned by agriculture or agriculture related activities. So non-farming activities are carried on small scale, even in other parts of the country, but also it's more specific about the village Palampur, like weavers, potters, goldsmiths, milkmen, etc. Okay, in a limited scale. In Palampur, 75% are engaged in agriculture, and 25% of people are in non-agriculture related professions. Okay, and next, factors of reproduction. This is a very important, and not only very important, it's the most important topic in this chapter. That is, goods and services, land, labor, and capital are the basic requirements for the production of goods. Just make sure don't forget it. That is, land, labor, capital is the most important basic requirements for production of goods and services, which are popularly known as factors of production. Land includes all the free gifts of nature. For example, whatever is on that land, for example, soil, forest, water, minerals, these all are said to be land. Labor means a human effort. It means human effort, or the workers or the agricultural laborers. Or in Hindi they tell like people who are like mazduri karte hain, etc., that they are called as labors. And these are physical, includes physical as well as mental labor. Okay, like physical means people who are like, for example, on fields, who pluck the harvest or do etc. And for mental, it means that for example, in a factory, the people are the factory managers, example, they are educated, and so it is called as mental labor. They think, they don't actually do anything physically, but they think and make plans, see how machines work, to take care of machines. Like the educated professionals, they do mental labor, and people who are uneducated and landless, these are do physical labor. Physical labor is a third requirement for physical capital is a third requirement. So even in that factors of production, the most important is capital. This is a very important, and normally children get confused based on this topic. So the physical capital is of two types. That is a fixed capital and other is, what do you call it, and working Capital, okay, fixed capital, physical capital, and is working capital. And there's also one more kind of thing that is also called as human capital. For example, if you take a cotton factory. In cotton factory, what happens? Cotton comes into the factory from the fields and gets processed in the factory and comes out a finished product. For example, like in the form of clothes, like for example, t-shirts. Okay, in form of t-shirts. So here, cotton is a what do you call it? Cotton is not a fixed capital. It is a working capital. You just bring to the factory, work on them, and just sell it back. You don't have it in your factory. And the next is for the machines which processes machines. These are permanent, so these are called as fixed capital. The people who work in the factories are called as human capital. Understood? I hope this is the best example in which you can understand it. And next, go to the next topic. Important changes in farm activities. The world is a changing place, and everything has changed in the past few years and a few decades with the invention of the new technologies and new machines, etc. So even there is a change even in the agricultural sectors and the farm activities. The land area and the cultivation is virtually fixed because we can only cultivate on the earth, and you cannot cultivate and land of the area in which can cultivate on earth is fixed. You cannot increase you cannot produce more land. That's impossible. You cannot produce more land. You can just clear the available land which is not under agriculture and use for agriculture, but you cannot get a new land from anywhere. So it's virtually fixed. You won't get any new land. Some wastelands need to be converted into cultivable land. So that's the only thing you can do. You cannot if any land is not under cultivation, you can bring it to cultivation, but you cannot bring any new land. It happened after 1960s. This is practically, it's also called as green revolution. You will know about it in the next topics. These changes are important changes. Have what happened is in the same area of land, for example, like 1 kg of rice was produced. Now 5 kg of rice is produced. How? Because of multiple cropping and modern farming like seeds, irrigation, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Multiple cropping means like in the same field you grow 3 or more crops, etc. in different seasons, but in the same year on the same field. Next, due to the use of due to these changes, what happened is that in the late 1960s, productivity has increased substantially. Before, what happened about, so this is an important figure, you have to remember it. Before, about 300 kgs per hectare produce you used to get, and now after using HIV seeds and modern farming, you get about 3,200 kgs of yield per hectare. So this is a substantial increase or not? Yes, of course, it's a substantial increase. This is also known as Green Revolution. The farmers of Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. So this is a very important bit. Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. It's not Uttar Pradesh. It's specifically, if they ask, it's Western Uttar Pradesh. First is the modern farming techniques, and this is also an important bit, is that which state uses most fertilizers. It's Punjab uses most fertilizers in India. Labor. After land, labor is the next basic factor. What is the basic and the most important factor for production? First is land. If there is no land, what would you do with the labor, etc.? So first is land, and second thing you require is you need people to work on the land, that is labor. And the next is machines, etc. Okay, small farmers provide their own labor, whereas medium farmers hire labor. For example, if there is a small farmer who has over 1 hectare of land, he himself works on the field. He don't need any other agricultural laborers. But if there is a large farmer who has about 20 hectares of land, He hires landless people or small farmers as the laborers. Okay, so this page is completed. Next page. Oh, it's already been 10 minutes. I have to wind it up fast. Capital. This is a very important thing. Please concentrate on this topic. Capital. Land, labor. After land, labor, then the most important thing is capital. So first, for agriculture, what you need. Oh, I'm sorry. First, what you need is land. Next, you need. First, you have to have land to do something. Land is important, and next is you need people to work on the land. And third is that you need money. If you have land, people, the people won't work unless you give them money, and you cannot hire people unless you have money to pay them. So it's the first capital, or it is also called as capital. Okay. Small farmers. So here, small farmers, example, medium, different types of farmers require all the farmers require capital. Small farmers borrow from large farmers, or from money lenders, or or traders. It's given here for various inputs. Like for example, they need tractors, but they don't actually cannot afford it. So for example, if they need fertilizers, seeds to purchase the seeds, etc., they need money, for which they ask the money from traders and money lenders. Modern farming requires great deal of capital. Before, in the farming, what happened was people already had they used what traditional seeds, and to make them more get them more crops, they used to use the fertilizers like natural fertilizers, like for example cow dung, kitchen manure, etc., which is which is readily available. You don't need to buy it from somewhere else. You can get it in your home itself. If you have animals in the village, you definitely have animals, and plant waste, etc., you can use it directly without purchasing. But if you use like the modern farming, you need HIV seeds, for which you need new fertilizers, pesticides, irrigation. These all cost a lot of money, so it increased the capital. And next is surplus. Surplus is a thing. It is also called as total produced. You can also write as total produce is equals to a consumption plus surplus. Now, what is surplus? It's not surf excel. Okay, what is surplus? For example, if a farmer he has 1 hectare of field, he cultivated about 25 kgs of rice. Let it be rice. I'm a South Indian, so I'm not taking wheat, I take rice. So 25 kgs of rice, and his family has 3 members. Let it be 3 members. Okay, and they need about 5 kgs of rice to eat. So this is their consumption. This is their consumption. And 25 kgs of rice usually. I'm actually sorry for the disturbance, but 5 kg consumption, and this is produce. So the remaining what they need, how much they can sell, 25 minus 5 is equals to 20 kgs rice they have now extra, which they can sell in the market. So this is called as the surplus, which is remained extra after their own consumption. It's called as surplus. This is a simple example, and now let's get back to the definition. What's wrong with me? Yeah. Farmers produce crops on their lands by using 3 factors of production. Yeah, I have said it before. They retain the part of produce for their self-consumption. This is very important, self-consumption, and sell the surplus. They don't sell the total produce or the total eat. They sell only the surplus after their self-consumption. What is required, that only they sell it. Then hereby market. That part of farm produce which is sold in the market is called as marketable surplus. This is a very important term. I guess it's not mentioned in your NCRT book, but it's very important for bids and for impressing your board exam teachers. Oh, you're ninth, right? You don't write board exams. Small farmers have a little surplus input. Yeah, for example, 25 kgs is a very 20 is very little yield, and again in that his surplus is 20 kgs. So 20 kgs is not even a bag of rice. 25 kgs is a bag of rice. So this is a very small thing to sell in the market. Okay. It is medium farmers and large farmers who have substantial produce. Yeah, for example, there are large farmers who have over quintals. Quintal is so the important term you need to know in this chapter. Quintal is equals to 100 kgs, and 1 ton or metric ton. 1 ton is equals to 1000 kgs, or it is also equal to, you can write in quintals, is equals to 100 into 10 kgs, that is equals to 10 quintals is equals to 1 metric ton. In the non-farm activities, it's given digitally in your book, in your economics textbook. This is just a small part of it. Out of 100 workers in India, only 24 workers are employed or engaged in non-farm activities. The variety of non-farm activities: dairy, small scale manufacturing, transport, etc. fall in this category. I hope you understood this chapter, and if you want more summary videos like this for any topics, like from class 9th to 10th or 11th, I can make the videos, and I have the ready summaries with me. I don't actually make a full video because it's time consuming, and for the full videos you can already check out other channels on YouTube which I actually follow, and some of them are like I'm not like doing bias for anything, but which I follow most for class 9th, it is Magnet Brains, Unacademy. Unacademy before I used to see, now I don't know about it, but last year I used to see Unacademy, and now mostly I watch Magnet Brains for social and Vedanta for science. And I just watch maths. I don't watch any videos because maths I can do on my own. So for others, I just watch on the YouTube. Biology, I watch Vedanta, and sometimes I even watch other videos like Crash Course is a YouTube channel which has over 12 million subscribers. It's not English. I'm sorry, it's not in Hindi. It's in English. If you want, you can check it out on the YouTube. Type Crash Course, and you look at the channel. It has over 12 million subscribers. It's based in America, and it's an English channel. And if you want about class 10th, you can watch Vedanta. It's best. You can watch even a Physics Wala Foundation. That's also amazing for students to understand. You can even watch few Unacademy educators if you want. And Edimantra is also very amazing for science and maths. And for class 11th, it's the best channel on YouTube for class 11th is Physics Wala. I personally am a big fan of Alak Pandey sir, and I have watched a lot of his lectures. I'm following him since the 4 years, and I know him. I've watched most of his videos, and I really like his content and the way he explains. So for class 11, you can, without any doubt, you can go ahead and even join his batches, Arjuna batch, Lakshya batch, etc. And other for 11th is you can obviously you have Vedanta Maths, you have Neha Agarwal Maths, you have Unacademy, and you also have the channels like the CBSE class videos, and Dear Sir. Wi-Fi study is always there if you want reasoning for any exams, etc. There are a lot of other channels I follow, but for now I just remember those. But whatever, just if you want more specific video about what channels to follow on the YouTube and what books to use for your boards, class 11th and class 9th. I don't know about class 12th, but at present I'm in a class 10th for the year 2021 and 2022. I'm a class 10th student. I'm preparing for NTSE, so I do read class 9th and class 10 books also. So I'm just making revision videos for my own revision. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe and like, and do comment what videos you want the next.